Hi, this is Krista Gibson with Growing Older and Wiser. Last time I talked about schedules and I asked for your input about whether or not you had schedules and kind of how you used them and that sort of thing. And a couple of you responded, and if you have not had a chance to read those in the comment section from last week, I would strongly suggest that you go read them because it was some really insightful, good information, and people kind of shared how they use a schedule. And one of the things that really struck me in one of the responses was where someone said that their schedule actually becomes a ritual, or parts of it do. And I've thought about that in a number of different ways. And I thought, I've done that too, and I just didn't realize it because for me, the word ritual usually implies, a church, synagogue, sacred meeting or something like that. And although those things are true, what's also true is that we have rituals in our lives. We maybe just don't call them that. We maybe call them habits or things I like to do, or I prefer to do it this way. But if you start looking at some of the aspects of your life, you may find that you have ritualized parts of your schedule, and that's not a bad thing. The more I thought about it, I thought, and I said this in my last video, a schedule grounds us and a ritual grounds us. And one of the things that I went from there is how much is going on in the world right now. This is being recorded in late October or mid-October 2023. I don't know when you're seeing it. But there's just a lot of unrest, a lot of things going on, and several wars, and it's just a mess in so many ways. And individually, a lot of people are very challenged right now, and a lot of people are having difficulty handling the energies that are going on. Other people, have great loss in their life. Perhaps a loved one has passed on. Other people have discovered they have cancer or whatever. But there's all this unrest. And so I was looking at that and I thought, what can really help us when we go through tough times, and we all do, is relying on our rituals, our schedules, our good things, the things that we like to hang our hat on. For me, one of those things is when I get up in the morning, I make myself a cup of coffee, and then I spend about an hour and a half. And I might read, I might listen to something inspirational. In the last year or so, I've started drawing every morning or watercoloring and hooking up with those creative energies of the universe. And I know other people do similar things, things that make you feel good, things that make you feel grounded, things that make you feel aligned spiritually. And so those things, if we have in fact ritualized them and kind of planted them in our lives, then I think when the negative times, challenging times, difficult times come, we can count on those things that we have grounded into our lives to help us. A place to hang ourselves, hang our hat. Okay, I might not be able to control what's going on in the Middle East right now. I can send light, I can send love, I can do all those things. But there's a lot of other energies involved that have nothing to do directly with me. Instead of letting myself, obviously I can care and I can have feelings about it, but I don't have to let it tear my life up. I don't have to let it cause me to live with angst and fear and those sorts of things. And one of the things that can help me is my rituals, my schedules, the parts of myself and of my life that I can count on. Now, how does this have to do with growing older and wiser? Well, the fact that we have lived through, if you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, and you look at what you've already lived through, look at the different upsets that we've had, look at the challenges, not of your own life only, but of the world at large. We have lived through a lot that the 20 and 30 somethings haven't, and the 40s and 50s. And so things that to them could be massively disruptive and disturbing, and I hope engaging, we can look at it and go, hey, wait, you know what? This is what I used to get through that before. This is what I did to deal with my feelings before. We have this rich, rich history that we can draw on from our very own lives. Or we can say, I did thus and so. Boy, that was a massive, don't ever do it again. So look at the positives from your past and your wisdom, and look at the not so positives, things that you wish you had done differently. Here's an opportunity to perhaps do things a little differently. And with all of that, take a look at your schedule. What parts of it have you ritualized in a good way? Not talking about bad habits, but what parts have you ritualized in a good way that you now can rely upon, depend upon? Meditation, prayer, lighting candles, listening to uplifting music, drawing, dancing, sewing, crochet, knitting. What is it? There's something in your life that really comforts you, engages you, draws on your creativity, draws on your higher self, that you can use now and in the future in your life when things are a little rough, when the waters get a little choppy. You can call upon these things. There's my wisdom for the week, so you can grow older and wiser. And please do use the comment section. It was so wonderful to have you doing that, and I think it's a wonderful way to share with others. Thanks a lot. See you next week.